US President Joe Biden has been in office for exactly 2 months now. Last week, he held his first high-profile international summit. India's Prime Minister Modi was present. This week, he sent his defense minister on a maiden tour. India is one of his destinations. What does the trend tell you? The US is focusing on its strategic relationship with India as top priority. This is the beginning of a new chapter in India's ties with the United States. The US Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, is in India for the next 3 days. He will hold deliberations at the highest levels of the Indian government. The global press is tracking this engagement because the agenda is global, and it goes way beyond the Chinese military threat. What India and America decide could impact South Asia and Indo-Pacific. On Gravitas tonight, we'll tell you about America's game plan, how India's defense relationship is evolving with the US, and why New Delhi is critical to Joe Biden's plans. We begin with the latest. What happened earlier today? US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin landed in New Delhi. In America, ministers are called secretaries. So you can say the American defense minister is visiting India. He's in charge of the Pentagon. He'll be here for 3 days, and this is the last leg of his first overseas tour as defense secretary. He went to Tokyo, then Seoul, and now he's in New Delhi. And this is significant. Remember, Japan and South Korea have been US defense partners since the Second World War. The US provides them military assistance. But India is not a traditional defense and strategic ally of the US. This visit is proof that America now sees India in the list of its top partners. It shows how defense and security ties will be a priority moving forward. So what will Austin do in India? He kicked off his visit today and met India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Over the next 3 days, he's scheduled to meet Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. He's also met National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, and he will perhaps meet India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. What is on the agenda? A whole lot of issues, from China's aggression to the Afghan peace deal and the security of the Indo-Pacific. A statement from the Pentagon says Austin will push for stronger bilateral cooperation in both the Indo-Pacific as well as the Indian Ocean regions. There is also talk of stepping up the security partnership. India and the US have had arms sales. They've seen technology transfers and defense agreements. In 2016, the US designated India as a quote-unquote major defense partner. Now is the time to take this forward to jointly tackle a common enemy, that is China. Austin has done the groundwork. As I told you, he's visited 2 countries, Japan and South Korea, to create a framework for closer cooperation. He made a pitch to South Korea for quote-unquote greater collaboration with the US and Japan. He discussed ways to rejuvenate trilateral security cooperation among South Korea, Japan and the US. And now he's in India, while his colleague, US Secretary of State or Foreign Minister, you could say, Antony Blinken, is holding a dialogue with the Chinese. Those talks are not going very well. We'll tell you more about them in just a bit. For now, let's focus on the pattern. America is holding simultaneous talks. On one hand, it is engaging with partners like India and Japan. On the other hand, it is talking to adversaries like China. This visit is to show China that the US has formidable allies in Asia. Now, let's tell you more about Austin himself. He's America's first African-American defense secretary. Austin has served for more than 40 years in the American Army. He has a lot of achievements to his credit. He was the first African-American general to command a theater of war in Iraq. He was the first to serve as the commander of the US Central Command. This command is responsible for West Asia, including Egypt, Central Asia, and some parts of South Asia. So he has some experience in this region too. Austin believes that China presents the most significant threat going forward. During his confirmation hearings, Lloyd Austin had told lawmakers in the US that he wanted to elevate America's relations with India. And now with his first visit, Lloyd Austin is walking the talk.